Hello and welcome to The Oliver Show. This is an episode of The Oliver Show that is a bit wild. I started this process of making my own pattern over a month ago, and in between then have also changed phones, and I do everything on my phone, so I've lost some footage, and it has driven me a little bit mad. These little babies of mine, but that's okay. They are all glorious in their own little ways. So what you are about to see is a mashup of what I could get together as best I could to make it make sense. Strap in, get ready for the roller coaster, because it's coming. To all of the professional pattern writers, hats fucking off. This is... These are my children. One of them I murdered. Oh, we started here with our little friend and with a bunch of chicken scratch on a couple of pieces of paper. This is our first edition. Beautiful. Ears are not my pattern. Understuffed because of the armature that is in it. So very wobbly, very loose. We moved from here on to a version that does not see the light of day. Number 2, I don't have because I hated it that much. I made too many changes and it did not look how I wanted it. From the version that does not see the light of day, we move on to this. He has a bulbous head, and I don't like it. Number 3 is alright. Head is too big. I thought I wanted a bigger head, and it turns out I don't. So we needed to work on fixing structural integrity and just adjusting some things from this one. Adjusting the head size of this one. From there, we get this guy. And these notes. And with these notes and this, we decide to take a confident leap onto our face with these typed and printed notes. Number 4 is my most perfect, and I had thought that I had the pattern 100%, and then I went to recreate it and realized his butt is just a bit off center. So, I had to refine. While I was working on these typed and printed notes and making this version, and we have this guy who is absolutely lovely, nice butt in the middle, with his little belly also in the middle of his body. All of these eventually will get like decked out and like have their own outfits and like be done up so that they're not just, sitting around doing nothing forever. But for now, while I'm still doing my pattern building, I need them kind of as bare as possible so I can see what changes I've made through each iteration. Iteration? I don't know. So, here's my guys. Soon, I will have an army. How many does it need to be an army? What is the exact number? Hey Siri! How many people do you need to have for it to be an army?
Okay, I found this on the web. For how many people do you need to have for an army? Check it out.
Well, according to the very quick preliminary search that I did on the internet, there is not a minimum for an army, so there can be an army of one. Right now, I have a foursome. Once I hit 5, I'll have an orgy. And we made these to make version number 5. Version number 5 is fine. So we decide to take version number 5's notes and start making what I thought would be final version. But for some reason, I just didn't like how it was looking and decided I needed to change stuff yet again. And so we have many notes and version number 6. Version number 6 has given us this set of notes that I will be working on today to see if I can get version number 6 again. Then I will be writing the notes into a more cohesive and understandable pattern rather than just cliff notes, so that I can get started with pattern testing, because I need other people to test it and make sure that it's followable. Here are my children. They make me quite happy and quite sad at the same time. There's been a lot of work and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Also a lot of interrupting and distraction. We are going to go forth with these notes. I'm not going to even bother calling them my hopefully final version, because every time I've said that, I've had to make a whole new set. So I'm just going to follow these and see what happens from there. So our first guy I built around a armature that I had made. So I had to build a pattern for him. And then once I did that, I realized I really like having a long boy as opposed to the short boys that I usually have. And that I really want more surface area to be able to work with for all of my designs. I also really, really like booty. I think it's just so funny, and I figured out a way to make a very voluptuous booty that I had not seen. Not to say that other people haven't thought of it, it's just that I hadn't seen. So I also think the technique could be used for like chest as well, doing it smaller. But my guys are little guys, so they don't have a chest. And you can see on this one, there's nothing that I really did to the front. And then you can also see he's just really wobbly and kind of unstable. He does have armature in him, so I can technically pose him, but because he's so flimsy, he doesn't really it doesn't really make a difference enough to justify trying to pose him. With this one, we can see that, the structure in and of itself is just a bit better. There is no armature in this one, just because I didn't want to keep making armature There's armature in here. He's fully posable. Like he can do stuff. So it felt a bit a waste to keep using the supplies that I have that are limited for armature to keep testing the pattern. I also found that with this one and this one, all I did was work in rounds, whereas for this one and this one, it's a bit easier to show you on this one. At the end of each round, I slip stitched and chained one, which is a technique I think that just overall lends to more strength or like security in the piece itself, if that's what you're looking for. Since that is what I'm looking for, it's good for what I'm doing. I keep forgetting to advertise and post about the fact that I have a clearance sale going on my Etsy shop. It is the same as my username. 75% off sale for clearance. There is a section on my Etsy shop that is marked clearance. If you want something that is softer and is less like going to hold its shape, then that wouldn't be the way that I go about it. The arms are just round by round because they didn't need to really be structured. I was worried about the legs and the body. The head is also just worked in normal rounds. But I wanted to make sure that the legs and the body were as sturdy as possible, even without armature. So that's why I decided to do the slip stitch and chain one at the end of all of the rows. You can also see with these two versus this one, there is something on their bellies. I did add an extra piece, like I did for the butts, but smaller, so that they would have an extra bit of chub in their little bellies. I really wanted the chub that I'm getting from this, but this one I'm getting that chub because it's understuffed and gravity has just kind of like pulled the stuffing here. Whereas with this body, like, because it's not understuffed and because I don't have anything here to build that shape, it's just kind of flat in the front. Like he's wide, but he's not chunky. And I wanted somebody chunky. So added a piece in the front as well so that I could have that bit of paunch. So got booty and paunch, and I love the legs. I just like how long the limbs are, just because I think it's more fun and like posable. I also, obviously, I am an adult. I like this size because it is holdable as an adult. My other things typically are about this size. He's not even as tall as the legs of my pattern. There is nothing wrong with that. And I work these patterns in the same hook size as this. I work with a 5.5 millimeter. And the patterns that I follow typically are made by people who are using like a 2.5, a 3, or a 3.5 millimeter hook. So they're meant to be even smaller than this. I have carpal tunnel. I want a lot of surface area to be able to build and create really intricate, really crazy, really fun, whimsical designs on things. So forever working in this tiny size is not super sustainable. Will I give this up? Absolutely not, because they are still adorable and I love them so much. I do want something that is long-term more sustainable and my own, you know? So hopefully these will be the right instructions, and I will be able to build at least one more of these before I put this into beginner terms and not just shorthand. Then do it again, see if it's followable, and then look for pattern testers. This is such a long process. It's wild. If you are a person who like looks for crochet patterns, and like is like, I will never ever pay for them, totally fine. That's up to you. Lovecrafts has a lot of free ones. There's the library has billions of books. There's a lot of free resources. If you are looking for a particular artist and their design and trying to catch it for free, don't do that. This shit's hard work. It's actual, factual, hard ass work. It's a fuck ton of math. And it's like, it's somebody's time spent to not only just make something, but make something in a way that other people can also make their own version of it. So if you can, obviously, like, buy patterns from people, and if you can't, that's okay. There are plenty of free resources. It's a lot of hard work. It's not even just like a day of hard work. This has been weeks of work. Hours and hours and hours. It's not just like, oh, I spend an hour to make these little guys. His head, arms, and legs take almost 3 hours just by themselves without even like making his body. So this is hours of work and frustration and tears and passion. It's like a lovely just bunch of emotions all packed up into a pattern. And you don't see all of the craziness that goes into the pattern building. So if you don't see the behind the scenes, don't tell people that what they're doing isn't hard. I'm back. This is our most recent baby, our most recent child. He is ready, I am so glad to say. He is also the one that was used for the guide photos that will be going with my pattern. I will be finishing up my pattern and I will be posting a Google form with my next video on September 28th, 2025. So that anybody that wants to be a pattern tester can fill out that form. I will have a limited amount of people as to not overwhelm myself or anybody else, and to not get scammed or duped and end up with my pattern not mine anymore somehow. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in a couple of weeks for our next video, where some of these guys will be getting their accoutrement, and then you'll also see the other things that I have been working on while doing my time getting these guys ready for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Stones. When your dad finishes, Venus should be allowed to dry. It's stuck in there. Jesus fucking Christ. Here she is. She's already here. Showing up early. Mwah. Mwah. Where'd you come from? I have so many children.